Welcome to Seven Trumpets Prepper Channel, and guys, welcome to another edition of the Hard Truth Show. Tonight is going to be interesting because now usually I'm hitting things from, sorry, it'll hit if I get the mic over here. Usually I'm hitting things from a scriptural standpoint or political standpoint or just a societal standpoint. But tonight I'm going to be hitting things from like a scientific perspective. I want to point out real quickly before I get hammered by potentially YouTube and this content taken down, because that never happens on here. More often it happens than not nowadays. But I want to premise this, that I am not giving medical advice. I am not saying that any events will or could happen. What I'm going to approach this by is let's run these as scenarios. Okay, are we all on the same page? And that way we can just enjoy this as educational entertainment, therefore, right? All right, so with that said, let me get this out of the way, get some affiliate shout outs out of the way, and then we'll read some comments, and then we'll get into the show. And we're going to be talking about what is the next plandemics. And if you notice, I put the money symbol because this is all about money and the great rich men of the earth murdering people and making money off of it. That's what it all boils down to, guys. But I called it plandemics because once they done it the first time, it's going to be continued and continued and continued. This is never going away. I just want everybody to understand. Like I told people after Rona went down the first time, like this is not going away. We're having the sideshow circus right now in Ukraine. But we'll get back to business as usual here soon, keeping fear to the masses. All right. So this is Hard Truth Show stream number 30. Just shout out the disclaimers and the fair use. Disclaimer: information, content, guests, and their views do not necessarily reflect the views of this channel or content shared from a third-party source. Fair use contents being shared for information, education, and edification purposes and intents. Guys, I'm sorry. Ever since I got home from California, like stuffy in my nose, it's just messing up my speech and everything. Guys, if you have email, if you want to email me questions, somebody that you'd like for me to interview on the show, topic you want me to cover, etc., let me know. I'm trying to catch up with people. I've got people I got to get with to get on and do interviews and different segments we're going to do on the show. Guys, make sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share this information. And guys, if you want to support the channel or super chat or just drop $1, please go into the link on the video description below and do it via PayPal. And if you just want a super chat or something, don't do it through YouTube. Literally, if you do it on PayPal, I can read it right here as I'm doing this on the live stream tonight. Okay. With that said, going to do a quick shout out for everybody that wants to know when this stream is. We always do it, and we're going to do it now, moving forward, the night before Sabbath on the Father's Looney Soul Scriptural Biblical Calendar. So you can always check that out on the app. It's free in the App Store for Google or Apple devices. Guys, we're going to be covering in this getting yourself protection. Okay. And if you're going to get protection, this is where to get it, is mirror safety. Okay. This is personal protective equipment for biological, chemical, nuclear things. This is where to go to get your equipment. Links in the video description below. Proud to be an affiliate with these people. They've got quality equipment. I've reviewed some of it recently on the channel. They've got it all the way down to infants. So, I mean, if you're concerned about protecting your little ones, I mean, like, don't be walking around like some of these people did when Rona was going on, looking crazy with garbage bags taped up and stupid stuff like that. Like, I mean, this is the real deal protective equipment. All right. Moving on. Shout out to Faraday Defense. Guys, if you're concerned about making sure to be prepared for EMP or a nuclear event, especially with the threats going on in the world today and the war in the Ukraine, and things going to possibly potentially go to hitting the nuclear football button. They have stuff to protect your equipment all the way down to your cell phones, even to a ledger for crypto. I mean, they've got some really good equipment, and I'll actually be doing a review on some of this week before I leave out for Florida. So just hang in and check that out because I'll be showing some of the smaller stuff here in a bit. With that said, got 3 more to share with you guys, and we're going to get going. Guys, shout out to BattleBox. If you have not checked out BattleBox, make sure to check out the link in the video description below. They send out monthly gear box if you're subscribed to them. And you can get 15% off your first box by just using 7 trumpets for the code. And you can check out this cute little tiny one I have right here. Of course, you'll get a lot larger box each month with gear in it, depending on what size box you get. But I love this little adorable box I have for demonstration purposes and advertisement on here now. So make sure to check them out, guys. I've gotten BattleBox for, gosh, 4 or 5 years. Just I've got gear everywhere at the house. It's great stuff. Last 2 things is, if you're not mining crypto with your phone, you're messing up. It's free to mine on it right now. Obviously, you're using power and you're, some data and stuff. But as far as if you've already got a phone, this is an opportunity to mine some crypto. This should go on to the public space on the main net, hopefully later this year, I'm hoping. Currently, I've mined almost 100 Pi. They're saying by 2024, this is actually going to be worth, I think it's $70 a coin. So that's a good opportunity to turn that in, get you some gear, prep gear, and you can be using your phone to support that right now as a pioneer. All right. And the last shout out, guys, and then I'm going to tell you 2 events, and then we're going to get going with the show. Guys, if you've not checked out the link in the video description below, my wife has opened up Kingdom Minded Company on Etsy. It is finally public. Shout out to those that bought some shirts the other night on the last live stream. A lot of scriptural tees. She's continuing to add scriptural biblical tees for men and women. Got a whole lineup going on there. Matter of fact, I'm actually wearing one of the tees she made right now. I love it. And it's the sublimation print, I believe is what she said it was, into the ink is into it. So I love it. And I believe that's it for affiliates and shout outs. The last thing I want to say, for things, if you didn't see it, is Hard Truth Show stream number 28 was about the government's ministry of truth, dipping into people's lives, which segued into the last show we did, which is modern relationships are a dumpster fire. And that's because the government and corporations and stuff like that is trying to break down the family element so that they can better control the sheep. And of course, tonight we're going to be covering what they are further trying to do to compartmentalize us with the plandemics. All right, so let's check out a few comments, and I'm going to get this show on the road. And did pretty good. I got that under the 10-minute mark. I'm always trying to stay under the 10-minute mark on everything. Hey, Shabbat Shalom to everybody in the building. Love y'all too. Let's see what we got here. Enjoyed your last show. Thank you so much. I really wanted to be careful with that show because, ladies, I don't hate you. I love women. Okay, I've always loved women. I love my wife, though. Okay, I'm married now. So, but I mean, like, I don't want to beat up on women, and men's got their own sets of issues. But, like, listen, we got to understand the construct is trying to destroy the family element. Understand, I want men and women to get married, have a family, have a beautiful life, have tons of children. Like, I really hope people got the baseline of that last show. Shout out New Hampshire. People from all over the place here. Let's see, personal protective equipment, Faraday defense, battle box, writing it down. That's awesome. Lucas, use another P word because plandemic might be flagged for misinformation. Yeah. Dorian, I'm still figuring out how to get the wrenches. I got to get you, Joel, Akeen, and everybody wrenches. I will try to figure that out this week. And shout out to Robin. She said, I'm a woman and I loved the show. That is awesome. I really appreciate that, ladies, because I mean, no disrespect to anybody. I really, especially I'll say this and I'm going to get in the show. For women that follow Torah, you should really, really be offended by the modern lawless woman because she is trying to get with a Torah observant man and like sneak into his life and then wreck it. And then that cuts you out of actually having somebody that would care about you and love you. So, I mean, I really hope that, it hit home. And somebody, another lady said, your last show, everything you talked about, you went through. My daughter went through. It happens to women too. Yeah. And that sucks. I really hate that. All right, here we go. So we're going to be covering this. I'm going to go ahead and get this up. And guys, I will come back into the comments some more here after a while. I want to read this one scripture before we go full science mode and full conspiracy theory. Okay. Well, I wouldn't say conspiracy theory because I mean, like this, some of this stuff's going to play out. No doubt about it. All right. So the 7 bowls of Elohim's wrath, this is what you can find. Then Revelation 16:1 says, and I heard a great voice out of the temple saying to the 7 angels, go your ways and pour out the vials of the wrath of Elohim upon the earth. And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noosome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his image. Now, I also look at that worship the image as give in to the construct, right? Like when you worship something, you're going along with it. You're giving in to a construct, right? And I try to say the word construct a lot anymore so people understand that when I'm talking about the government, corporations, and the wicked religious entities that's out there today, like this is the matrix, right? We're in that matrix. We're in a construct. And so I always try to speak to that. So people don't think I'm trying to attack on them. So guys, when we look back at what we dealt with, right? We've seen people walking around with face diapers on and just all the stupidity that went on in the past years. I remember I was in California with my wife, and me and Abby were finishing up an off-grid job out there, and we were waiting on the flight back home. And I can't remember, it wasn't Sacramento. I can't remember the airport, right? San Jose or somewhere. Anyway, we were waiting in one of the airports up there to fly home. And I literally thought I was going to have to rent an Enterprise rental and get in it and drive the 3-day trek home because they were going to shut down the airport. Like it got that close out there whenever I was out there on the front end of this thing. And it was crazy. And honestly, like I thought a zombie apocalypse kind of thing was going on because it just happened so fast. And, the news ran with it so fast. And it was crazy. And when you look at how it all played out, it's so important. Like actually how I said about relationships. Somebody said face diapers while driving a car. So sad. What's really sad, Robin, is when they're driving with the face diaper and they're alone. Folks, they're alone. I mean, who are you going to get sick from? You by yourself. You're breathing your own germs. I mean, goodness mercy. But anyway, we need to have a memory of an elephant. Just like I said with relationships, we need to have that too with what's going on. Because what was will be again. There's nothing new under the sun. It's just a replay, right? Now, what I want to go ahead and premise, though, is now, as I've told my wife and as I've told everyone, and you know what? I hope I'm wrong. But now this time around, when this all goes down, you might see Luke walking down the street with a gas mask on. You might actually see me suit up because now I think they're going to pull the trigger this time through. It'll be the real deal this time, okay? And people's going to get complacent because there's going to be a lot of people be like, oh, they're just pulling the rug out from under us again. I hope I get had this time. As far as like, well, I over-prepared, fine. But I'm going to really treat this thing as the real deal this next time through. I just want to be very clear about that. Like, I had no respect unto this thing the first time through, except for maybe the first week or two. I was like, well, what are we dealing with here? And then once I actually figured out what was going on, I'm like, all right, forget it. But Cindy J said from California to GA is crazy driving, people doing it alone in a car. I just drove it recently, and we did it. I think it's 30-something hour drive overnight, and it was insanity driving that. Anyway, here you can see this picture, and you have stay home, stay safe, okay? And then you have sorry we're closed, and then you've got the short business hours and all the government restrictions, right? And then we had stay home, save lives, and just all this madness, all this mental indoctrination, just all this fear. Right? Fear mongering. And I think what is so important to take away from this is now, if you've read George Orwell's 1984, and shout out to the sweet girl that works at the bookstore, I am going to get my copy of George Orwell's Animal Farm. I'm going to read that next after I finish the New World Order book while I'm on a trip down to Florida. Y'all will, and I'm going to try to finish that out. And that's my next adventure, is reading George Orwell's Animal Farm. So, because so far everybody I've talked to about it, it's a great read. So anybody want to drop a comment in the comment section, I'm very curious to see your all's thoughts on that too. But They Live, that's another one that, is really reflective to the time we're in right now. And if you look at Orwell's 1984, and I said this, I believe, when I was covering Big Brother stream before last, is that, war is peace, freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength, and the mental indoctrination that, the poor American people, not only that, but people across the world has been put through, the mental terrorism, you know, if you look at it, I want to cover this again because I feel like we need to have mental health classes. We have science class tonight. Is that, you know, you look at cognitive dissonance. It is the unpleasant tension state awareness that belief and action are inconsistent. And guys, the reason I put this stuff up here is like, I don't want anybody to ever think I'm arrogant or cocky or a narcissist. Like, I want people to have understanding. I want you to be fully autonomous and make your own decisions, because whether you like what Luke says or not, I'm putting fact statements. Like, what we're living in right now is everyone's trying to redefine the definition of things. And when you redefine the definition of things, you change the baseline of every argument. Okay. So I'm arguing from a state of, I'm making an argument and I'm presenting my point to you, the jury, that this is what we're dealing with. Okay. So the current definition of cognitive dissonance is an unpleasant tension state awareness that belief and action are inconsistent. And if you look at the way to manipulate the masses, that what actually happens is that you give misconstrued information and mixed reports and et cetera, like that, fake news, et cetera. And you get people torn. And then you get them so disrupted that they only know to turn to the authority figure that they trust, aka the government. And then the government can tell them lies or whatever they want. And this is also how like kind of Nazi Germany ran the show over there too. But just simple example, as you can see on the screen, is your belief in smoking, and you smoke cigarettes, right? Well, you have to change action or change the belief because you're in imbalance of what you're doing. All right. Makes sense. All right. The other thing is Stockholm syndrome is for real with this. Like, literally people were told to stay at home. They were held captive, and then their mind was just completely melted down to butter. Okay. Because here's the thing. Most people did not deal with this situation well at all. I've seen people that were like 2 and 3 times the man I am, strength-wise, height-wise, build-wise, and they were walking around with a face diaper and scared to death. All right? So just understand that, like, you know, cognitive dissonance and Stockholm syndrome is nothing to scoff at. Like, folks, you got to understand that no matter strong, weak, white, black, Asian, Hispanic, man, woman, it don't matter who it is. Like, this stuff runs deep. All right. It runs seriously deep. And what we've seen before, you need to be mentally aware of that, because we're going to watch a repeat of that again. Somebody said, James said, that's a great book. Thanks for the shout out on that. I'm definitely going to have to read that, guys. All right. But moving forward with this, all right, I've got 3 tenets that I'm going to say one of the 3 is going to play out. But now as I make my point, somebody said, make George Orwell fiction again. That needs to be, you know what? I need to get a t-shirt made of that. That is a awesome idea. I'm going to have to shout that out to my wife to make me a shirt. That is really good, guys. Make George Orwell fiction again. Shout out to you, Michelle M. That is so far the comment of the night. All right. So back on focus here. You know, if you watch They Live, you can see where that, you know, when he put the glasses on, he could see for what it was. And when he took the glasses off, of course, you know, the deception was there. And we need to really have that clear lens set moving forward and dealing with what we're about to deal with, because the whole thing's going to replay again. Okay. Serious. And you're going to see the breaking news and all the crazy stuff. And this time, guys, I really think you're going to see like the FEMA camps. Please keep in mind, I was a former FEMA volunteer. I have the darn certificate diploma thing on the wall from where formerly had FEMA training and the whole 9 yards and participated in emergency help and stuff like that. Like, guys, I got it on the wall. All right. So, I mean, I'm not just talking to be talking, but I'm telling you, like, this particular arm of the government. I noticed my live stream froze there for a minute. Intriguing. But I know that it is no doubt in my mind that it's going to be the long arm used here in the near future. Somebody said it took me almost 4 years to decide to leave my husband. Can't handle the mental abuse. I think I might rather have physical abuse than mental abuse. I'm gonna tell you what, folks. When people start damaging your mind, it is not a fun thing. And I get it. I really get it. And I hate that situation. But all right, so I've got a ton of articles to go through. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6 articles and a thing from the World Health Organization that we're going to cover. So I'm going to try to blaze through this because there's probably 10, 15 minutes of that. I want you to see this picture because if you Google it, you can literally find this article. And then when I went to pull the article up, I actually had to go search carefully again to actually find the article. And it says Bill Gates warns of smallpox terror attacks as he seeks research. And that is on the Daily Mail. And if you look, I'm going to screen share now. And you can see these articles as I read it right here. All right. So this first one, it's got Bill Gates warns of smallpox terror attack as he seeks research funds. Now I want to let him speak for just a second, this monster speak, and you hear what the demon has to say for himself. Hopefully this thing will load, guys.
I'm hoping in 5 years I can write a book called, we are ready for the next pandemic, but it'll take tens of billions in R&D that the US and the UK will be part of that.
Sorry, guys. I don't know why this video is buffering. All right. Well, enough of that. This website's got like 1 million ads pop up on it. But as you can see right here, it says Bill Gates has warned government to prepare for smallpox terror attacks and future pandemics by investing billions into research and development. Down here it says, I'm hoping in 5 years I can write a book called We're Ready for the Next Pandemic, but it'll take tens of billions in R&D. The US and the UK will be part of that, he said. It'll take probably $1 billion a year for a pandemic task force at the World Health Organization level, which is doing the surveillance and actually doing what I call germ games where you practice. All right. Now, I'm going to tell you what, that is messed up. Okay. That is really messed up. Like he is prompting, they always talk about this stuff before they do it. And another thing is now, I know it was brought up about smallpox being missing, and this is on CNN Health. And it was from the November 17th, 2021, is that, the smallpox found at vaccine research facility in Pennsylvania, CDC says. I'm going to tell you what creeps me out about this is how many other facilities actually hold these illnesses and sicknesses. That this just happened to pop up on the radar, but it makes me worry that there's a lot more of these stashed away than is let on. And I'm going to pop off the screen share for just a second and come back over here and stop sharing screen for just a moment. And if you look at that, sorry, give me just a second. Here we go. Back. Let me put Mr. Gates back on here. If you look at the difference between like chicken pox and smallpox, I know of a lot of us. Somebody said narcissistic abuse is the real pandemic. No doubt about it. Pharmacia, do not take anything the exterminator makes. That's for real right there. So what you see here is an example of a chickenpox rash, which many of us had when we were little. And you can see the smallpox rash. Now, what I'll also say is now smallpox rash also looks like when fire ants bite you and the poison comes up from where they bit you. It can also kind of look like that. Smallpox is some savage stuff, folks. And what they gave everyone, okay, the snake bite, okay, and we're going to, from this point forward, I'm going to go in parables mode and scenarios. So those that have ears to hear and eyes to see know what I'm talking about. Is that imagine that you took the snake bite, right? And then later, the 5G is activated, which actually opens the nucleus on these toxins that was put in your body to release other things that was hidden in that. And then you eventually die from it. Well, there's a couple, or actually 3 scenarios that I personally came up with. And keep in mind, folks, I'm an electrician. I'm a contractor. I'm a really good electrician, but I'm not a doctor. But, I've whittled this stuff down so that we're not spinning the roulette wheel. Is that you can pretty much look, and it's going to go probably about 3 ways here. And you just got to watch what they say and how they move. And one of the situations that I've looked at is that smallpox keeps coming up in the news. It keeps coming up in people's mouth. this is scary because if you look at people's immune systems, especially now, probably being that they took the snake bite, this right here, if this gets out into the general population, this could definitely eradicate a multitude of people off the face of the earth. All right. And keep in mind, I just want to pause with saying that for a second, is that two shout outs that I want to make is that, guys, if you want to meet up with me, the Georgia Guidestones on 7/30/122, we're going to be doing a prayer meetup for the fall of the New World Order at 12 p.m. that day. And I'm also going to be praying that the Most High Yah destroys that wicked place without a man even having to touch his hands to it. And I really hope that comes to pass. And not only that, make sure to check out the United in Yah Battle Cry event on the 25th, 26th coming up this coming month. That's coming up. Links in the video description below where you can go over there and check that out. And I will be speaking about 7 Trumpets of Revelation. I think it's a 1-hour segment that I'll be speaking on. So make sure to check that out. But back on point here, New World Order definitely needs to clean some bodies off the slate. And this is a definite opportunity to get it done. So that was my number one thing that I think is definitely an opportunity to take place. That is my least. I think that's like going to be like in rank of 3 or 3 to first place, third place to first place. I would rank smallpox third place. Now, my second place that I think is the most potential for the next thing going on, and I've got articles to back this up too, is that I think monkeypox might be the next thing that we might be dealing with, is because if you look at the symptoms of it, a lot of it can flow over from Rona, from the snake bite. And so people might be getting wiped out and thinking that's what they got. But in reality, it was the hidden wickedness stashed within the snake bite to be activated by 5G or radio frequency waves at a later time, because I didn't get the information up tonight for the patent information, how that I think it's the Rockefellers have the, and I've showed it before on the channel in the past, the patent for the radio frequency activated blood. That is, if you want to Google that, the patent out there, and maybe I can bring that up in a later stream. Somebody said, DJ Moore said, based on that thought, what if monkeypox is smallpox on steroids? At this point, nothing can be really counted out. And there you go. I think you said that a minute or two ago before I got started to go to the next slide. And here we are at monkeypox. And that's exactly the next thing that I want to point out, guys, is that this is some sketchy stuff. Okay. I mean, like, you don't want to go down this route because of the potential death that can occur from this, because you got to understand the death rate on this is one thing, but with people's immune system severely weakened, run the scenario that they're severely weakened already, then you count this on top of it. I mean, you're looking at like potential game over. And Test C374 says, could monkeypox be Revelation 12:2? Well, guys, this is why if you look, I premised this whole conversation we're having tonight with Revelation, because they've got this grievous sore that falls upon them, right? Well, let's say that the snake bite is the mark in the hand for a minute. Okay, track with me. Then we're looking for something that would line up with scripture, right? Because I'm not trying to make something or scripture fit into something. I'm trying to make something fit into the word, right? Line up with the word. So if you look at that, we're dealing with like some serious bulls and stuff, right? And I think I have a picture to go along with this. No, I don't. That's another thing we're moving to in a minute. Oh, I know why I didn't put it up there, because, man, some of the pictures I Googled on that was graphic, and I figured that the stream would be labeled not this wouldn't be suitable for certain people to watch and everything, restricted and stuff. So I just left that out. But you go over to Google and Google monkeypox and look at the images. Do not do that before you have dinner. Okay. You eat dinner and then you let that settle and then you go look at that. All right. It's pretty wicked. All right. So with that said, let me take this down for a second, and we're going to look at some articles that back up that I think this is a potential second place runner. All right. It says here, this was on Newsweek, and this is very current. Okay. This is 5/19 of 22. And it says here, multiple Twitter posts have suggested that Microsoft founder Bill Gates had predicted the likelihood of a smallpox outbreak ahead of recently recorded cases of monkeypox in the U.S. and Europe. The billionaire has spoken about the possibility of smallpox-type virus being used as a bioterrorist weapon, accounts of which have been highlighted on social media. Gates has been a common target of conspiracy theorists throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, often baselessly portrayed as the architect, as an architect of the crisis. No, people had a very good baseline for thinking that, and I agree. This is one of the most wicked people that has ever lived right there. I'm going to tell you, like, when judgment comes, I may not make it in the kingdom potentially. And Father, y'all, please forgive me all my sins, save me, and please grant me worthy. But I'm telling you what, like, if this guy makes it in the kingdom, I am going to be completely and utterly shocked. All right. So anyway, in May 2022, multiple social media posts reported that Bill Gates had recently warned of a smallpox attack. It goes on to say that some of those commentators implicitly hints at Gates' purported role in the spread of monkeypox cases reported in Europe and the U.S. All right. Now, if you want to read this article, you can check this out, newsweek.com/fact check. Did Bill Gates predict monkeypox outbreak? Right. Google that. I'm going to take that down for a second, because the next article says sex at 2 Europe raves may explain unusual monkeypox outbreak, says WHO expert. And they go on to explain how that the disease and everything started up again over in Europe and stuff, because people apparently had a random outbreak event at a rave. And honestly, as I read this, it just didn't make sense to me how that, like, totally random it happened at that location. They really did not give a good explanation as to why that happened. And you can go read the articles. I mean, you can go what's going on with monkeypox, but now we all of a sudden have this starting to pop up. And actually, if you look right here, I believe I have it. Oh, I keep wanting to show that slide, but we're not yet there yet, is because that's going to roll over into my top tier thing that I think is going down. And furthermore, I really believe it's going down because TikTok actually, from what I can tell, my best analysis is TikTok took the video down because it was no longer available. Is some very in the know people were explaining how the next thing I'm about to mention actually was going to take place, and how it's already documented in the government documents. And I should have wrote down the government documents and all that stuff so I could pull it up and showed it to everybody. But I didn't. And somebody said, trying to keep up with the stream topic, y'all. Let's not give power to anyone that's an arc. Absolutely. Yeah. It's amazing how much some things don't matter when you go back and look at them years later. Oh, I know. And then, it's like for a decade, things have just kind of puttered along, and now it's just going full blast. But what I want to say to this is, now with the monkeypox thing, is you're starting to actually see it in different various places across the world now, starting to pop up. And what's weird is it just showed up. Like the explanation was very vague as to why, like, in random places in Europe, it just showed up. And I almost wonder, I'm like, is it because that certain frequencies and things that people's around activated it? I mean, what's really wild, and Luke's going full conspiracy theorist mode right this moment. Okay. So I'm not saying this is fact. I am going full down the Alice in Wonderland rabbit hole. Okay. Isn't it weird that these people were at a rave, and, like, maybe was it the musical frequencies or something like that, or a certain frequency with this going that triggered that in these people's body, and caused the stuff to start to break loose in their body. I'm just saying, like, I've wondered about this. All right, guys, like, I'm sharing you things that I've took time to piece together, because if you notice, when I talk about something on this show, ever since that I've really went full bore on producing this show, that I show you stuff from years back. This ain't just like yesterday when this went down or this or that. Like I piece stuff together. Like if I was running a private investigator business like Hercule Poirot or Sherlock Holmes, like you'd see like all the little red strings tied to the pictures and all this crazy stuff like back in the day, like when Gumshoe Detective's done, you know, like that's how I work in my mental construct in my mind, like when I'm piecing this together digitally for you guys to see, because you know, I just think that there's a process that we should go about before we share information with people, and I think you should have a well documented path leading up to an analysis, because like everybody's giving a theory on stuff, but I want to show clear, concise stuff, because one of these three things goes down, it's like obviously something was leading up to that. And, you know, the past couple of years, there's a lot been leading up to where we're at right now. Somebody said the way it showed up in Europe was as those clubs were a hymn in inappropriate, ungodly activity was taking place. Yeah, well, I mean, somebody said usually it's not the first thing the media puts out. Yeah, that's true too. And that's why also I think that the next one I'm about to share with you is going to be the slam dunk winner, because what sucks is I had the video. I was going to actually play the video and let the officials and people tell you from their own mouths, just like Bill Gates and other people. So you're just going to have to go on faith with me on this one, and then Google this and look at the depth of the information on this yourself. All right. Because I think you see it first because, oh, okay. But I really think it's important to just not discount the fact that monkeypox could be a possibility, because you're already seeing the cases. Fearmonger, I agree with you. That's absolutely correct. The frequencies. Yeah, that's where I'm at with it, guys, because I really feel bad that I did not put that in here. That's one of the few things that I really feel bad I did not share was the patent for the blood actuated frequencies. There's a patent out from that now that the Rockefellers own. To the best of my knowledge, it was the Rockefellers that was the patent holder currently. And like, you know, you don't get patents on stuff like that if you're not planning to use it. All right. So with that said, my first place winner that I think is going to be what you see come to pass in the near future in the scenarios that I'm running tonight, I really believe, beyond all shadow of a doubt, from especially these little guys here, is it's going to be Marburg virus disease. And what I want to show you right here is that if you look this up, okay, on the World Health Organization, Health Topics, Marburg virus disease, all right, an official, I forget the guys, he was like he literally owned a biolab company and stuff. And so like, I mean, these are people in the know. Like if I tell you something about off-grid power, I'm going to tell you from a point of like authority, because I've done it for, you know, I mean, I've worked in electricity now for decades. I mean, like I know what I'm doing. But like these people like work with biotech, they know what they're doing, folks. And when you go down through here, you talk about Marburg virus disease. What really all you need to do is understand two things. Number one is that it causes hemorrhagic fever with a fatality ratio of up to 88%. Let me read that again. With a fatality ratio of up to 88%. Now, when I was listening to the video on TikTok the other day, and they were having that three-way conversation to the public, and the government information documents, all that stuff, and everything that's apparently being documented with the already on the back end of the snake bite, is that this apparently is part of the construct that is within the snake bite that is to be activated by the 5G. That's what they were saying, long and short of it. And the more I looked at it, I was like, wow. I was like, if I was going to snap people off this earth, this is definitely the one to get it done. I'm like, man, this is just pure savage. And, you know, the more you look at it too, it says the human infection with Marburg virus disease initially results from prolonged exposure to miners or caves inhabited by Rhasodus bat colonies. Once an individual is affected with the virus, Marburg can spread through human-to-human transmission via direct contact through broken skin or mucous membrane with the blood, secretion, organs, or other bodily fluids of infected people with surfaces and material, bedding, clothing contaminated with fluids. And the incubation period is between 2 to 21 days. All right, now let me go off screen share for a minute so I can talk to everybody straight up to their face. 88%, okay, that is savage. Not to mention that whenever you look at some of the stuff going on with that, dude, if we especially step into like zombie apocalypse mode where, I mean, like these people just straight up lose their minds, you are looking at some definitely scary stuff ahead, because what makes me concerned about that, and I'm also going to be talking about, you know, solutions to offset this, but Fearmonger said, yep, watched the video and blew it up to see what it said. Fearmonger, did TikTok take the video down? Because like I don't understand. I don't understand what happened with TikTok, guys. I just wish somebody on here would bring me up to speed with that. But anyway, when you look at the death rate on that, this is why I also go back, just like I said in relationship videos the other day, is that you do not want to have physical intercourse with somebody that's had the poke. You don't want to take a blood transfusion. You don't want to be around them and get cut or anything like that. Like, I mean, there's just so many things now that we just don't want to be around people. Okay. Because if it is the mark, right, obviously you didn't take the mark, but that doesn't mean that potentially we couldn't get sick or die from being around these people, right? Which is also why I think we should come up out of Babylon, right? Leave the cities, leave the population centers, and just crazy stuff that's going on, guys. And I'm gonna pop back over to the World Health Organization in just a second, because I want to share some more stuff. John Willis said, I don't personally believe that diseases can be transferred from animals to man, woman without jab or gene modification, maybe some hardcore bacteria or something like rabies. Yeah, guys, once again, according to what the people in authority were talking about, is that it was this signature of information is already contained within the snake bite. And so whenever it's setting dormant right now, later when it is activated by the 5G, it's going to pretty much, the best I can break this down in layman's terms, what they said is that it opens it up. It allows that to go out into the body. Now that's actually in the bloodstream at that point, and then it'll begin the process of terminating the person. They took the video off. Okay. Thank you, brother. That's because when I tried to pull it back up today to load it for on here to use for fire use, it was gone. And I was like, dang, I've got it. You know, I think what I've got to start doing, guys, is I've got to not just share it on here for fire use. I've got to actually start downloading the video and like saving it and uploading it to StreamYard. If I have to upload, or if I have to upgrade my StreamYard account to premium, I have the middle account or whatever I got to do, I'm gonna have to just do it to have this. Pfizer already admitted it changes your DNA. Wow, that's interesting. That's interesting, and more stuff's going to come out, guys. Dana said, I believe this is one of the many narrow gates that Messiah was talking about. Don't go the wide gate. Absolutely. Let's see. I'm afraid to be around my grandson. His father made him take the snake bite. That's terrible. That's terrible, guys. The people with the jab actually shed the spike protein, which is the thing wreaking havoc on the jab. Yeah, I'm telling you guys, it's crazy stuff, but I want to stay on point right quick. Lucas, I'm sure you can find the video on Rumble or BitChute. Yeah, and maybe in a future stream we can get that up there, because it sucks, guys. That was like a real important pillar of information I want to share with you. But I mean, the information's here on World Health Organization too. I just don't have the fundamental to just be like, hey, this was this document and this document on some of that, because a lot of it's already leaking and it's in public hands now. But I'm going to go back screen share for just a second, and I want to go back to the Marburg right here. You can check this out. Really, really take your time to check this out, guys, because it hits it on the overview, like right out the gate. And you can see right there where that apparently the outbreak, stuff like that's potential. And can and will happen. And of course, America makes it on the chart. So that is that's kind of scary already, because we even went full game on yet, and it's already on the chart. But that's health topics, Marburg disease. Now, this next one is if you go to who.I.ent/I/item/item/ who HSEPEDCED -2014.05, it comes up that you can download the manual, pretty much the protocols for Marburg. And one of the things that was intriguing to me is, if you can see the PDF, now it's free to the public, right? You can download it, is that before pre-epidemic phase is where I was at. It's like page 15. You can start on it. It says, during this, the public health services must set up a surveillance system to identify viral hemorrhagic fever cases. However, surveillance for human cases of suspected VHF is not enough. Now, you know what bothers me about that is, like, this is going to come back to that show me your papers thing. And, you know, also when you're dealing with Marburg, you're looking at also like situation with like Ebola. And this stuff is just some crazy, crazy stuff, guys. I mean, like people was like, oh, Rona's going to kill me. Rona's going to kill me. Blah, blah, blah. But, this stuff here, I mean, like, I've talked about it before in the past. They did that. Oh, what was it? The planning for Operation Dark Winter. I shared a video about that sometime back. Maybe last year. And I actually touched on it again this year, maybe. Anyway, I can put you know what, guys, I will look it up and I will put the link in the video description when I'm done with the stream, so that you can go check that out about Dark Winter. But like, they've done exercises to prepare for some of this stuff right here. And so keep in mind, that was pre-planned long time ago and already been exercised by the military. And then you have the World Health Organization already telling you, like, a guideline for exactly how this stuff's going to be handled. And then on top of that, you have a death rate of almost 100%. Like, dude, I mean, this is like I Am Legend kind of stuff. I mean, and I'm not trying to freak everybody out. I'm just trying to be like as on point as possible. You see how I arrived at this getting first place? Like, I mean, imagine this for a minute, okay, in layman's terms. I'm an electrician, right? I go out to somebody's house and I say, listen, if you put that battery in your house, it's an 88% chance you're going to burn your house down. No doubt about it. And they put that battery in your house. Go ahead and have me put that battery in, which I wouldn't do, but they put it in themselves. Let's say they do that, right? How you think that's going to work out for them? Their house is probably going to burn down, right? And somebody said, I'm a new subscriber. Just want to say shalom to everyone. Hey, shalom. Welcome to the house. We all tested, but it was so I'm tired and scared. Somebody said the jabs are wiping out people's immune system. Absolutely. And that's another thing too, is the people that's getting it or have taken the snake bite. Look how that they've turned around and sick. Look, that's what I'm saying. What if this turns into like the movie I Am Legend with Will Smith? Yeah, and guys, the particular thing that I'm reading about right now and showing you, like on the World Health Organization, I'm giving you point blank where you can go check this stuff out. The documentation that's starting to be put out on the snake bites, and the hidden things that's in it. If we go back to my slideshow here, like literally the patent that's out, well, now this is where some of that Marburg outbreak has been in the past too. We also, if you look, it's in Europe as well. I mean, like, creepy stuff, guys. And but like, you just wait until they turn the frequency on. And I forget, I think the guy said the frequency was 111 hertz or something like that. I can't remember exactly the frequency they said, but there's a certain frequency that will trigger it to come on out into the DNA construct in your body. And at that point, then you're pretty much, it's game over. Somebody's going to be pushing up daisies. And Justin Hager says, since the snakebite has assembly instructions, which creates spike protein, don't think they can't just send out a frequency to have it assemble a different pandemic. Exactly. You know what? Let's shout out to Justin tonight. He gets the comment of the night. Everybody give a hand clap to Justin right there. That's on point right there. And that is actually what I've been trying to say throughout this presentation tonight. And guys, you know, I try not to get animated, upset, overreactive anymore, because it's like I actually slipped last week when I was doing that presentation. I was very calm, but I forgot to say one thing is I knew somebody would hit me with the who hurt you, because I was just going in on relationships. And, you know, like I hurt myself because I chose to put myself in a relationship that blew up. Right. So that was my fault. But don't try to shame me for putting out facts. Just like tonight, people can call me a conspiracy theorist, and that's fine. I'll take full ownership of that, right? There you go. I'm an empathic person, not a narcissist, so I'll take full ownership of it, right? But at the end of the day, when it happens, now I'm no longer a conspiracy theorist. I'm a prophet, okay? You can say Luke was a prophet at that point, so I can go from the tinfoil hat to prophet mode, right? And I don't claim to be a prophet either. Hey, Lucas, I'm from Alaska. I found some info. What is your email so I can send it to you? Very interesting. Guys, if you want to reach out to me right there, it is 7trumpetsprepper@gmail.com. Be glad to chat that up with you on stuff when I got a free minute. Now, guys, right now my email's backed up about a month, so please bear with me. Hey, Dorian, I just put the email up right there. Oh yeah, Dark Winter script. I'd love to check that out again. Let's see. My neighbor who is 74, ultra greeny and in great health took the bite and now has an autoimmune disease. Okay, so while we're having full disclosure here, I have a friend. I love them like family. They took the snake bite. They're elderly. They are currently in a terrible situation. Their health is declining, and I'm expecting to go to the funeral home at any time now. So I'm telling you, like, I'm watching this stuff play out on a microcosm level around me now. Right. So I want to go ahead and move through these slides, guys, and then I'll chop it up with everybody in the comments, because I know this is a hot topic. So what can we really do to protect ourselves? Because I've talked about all the bad that's happening, but like, what can we really do to protect ourselves? Well, one thing is the top priority, and this is just as important to me as everybody else, is that we need to keep the commandments. The whole duty of a man is to fear Yah and keep his commandments. And that needs to be top priority right now, because if I'm going to fear anything, I'm going to fear the Most High Yah, because he can destroy body and soul in fire one day. And, you know, I'm tired. Honestly, guys, I don't want to curse on this channel. I still have made it a point not to for over a decade now, y'all willing. I mean, I've said the world we live in is a hellhole, and I still stand behind that. But, you know, I'm to the point in life where I just really don't give a flip. And that's the most clean and respectable way to say that on here with children watching, because I'd like to keep this a family show, and especially the young people watch and listen. But, you know, we absolutely need to fear Yah and keep his commandments. And Tess, that's awesome. I told my wife that today. We were talking about that, to put on the whole armor of Yah. And it's just, this needs to be top priority right now above everything, above family, above your job, above your friends, above your career, above your hopes, dreams, aspirations. Keeping the commandments needs to be priority one. I don't care if you're a Gentile convert to the truth like me, or you're a blood descendant of a Hebrew Israelite, so-called black man, waking up in Babylon and seeing who you really are. I don't care who you are across the world. This needs to be top priority, is keeping the commandments. All right. Now that, because if we're following the Most High Yah and we call upon him and we're walking in the way, then I ain't no doubt in my mind that he will answer prayers. All right. Furthermore, now essential oils and colloidal silver is my fallback too. When I get sick, and I mean, like, I rarely ever get sick, and I swear when I do get sick, I just get trashed. Like I left California, I was fine. I came home, pollen season, and dude, it just like wiped me out. I was on the couch for a day, just straight up whole day practically, just trying to breathe. And I always try to take essential oils. doTERRA is great essential oils, guys. But I also fall back to colloidal silver. That's my go-tos when I get sick. And like I took lemon, grapefruit, and lime whenever I got sick. Got that past them gallstones. That was great. Somebody said I take zinc and vitamin C. That's absolutely great things to take. Guys, I'm so sorry. I've been working at the tiny house factory. I've been doing off-grid construction, trying to help get my mom and dad a home built, take care of a farm, just started a beekeeping business. I mine Bitcoin, and I also produce a live stream show on YouTube to educate people about the last days. So I am burning this candle at 15 ends right now. Somebody said, can I type out the name? Okay, so here we go. DoTerra, doTERRA oils. All right. Yeah, the colloidal silver, you can actually get it at Ready Air. I actually have the affiliate thing say it. We just haven't put up the thing yet, but that's another one that's going to be on here soon for the affiliate shout outs on the stream weekly. I've got so many affiliates on here. I think I'm going to have to do half at the start of the show and half at the end, and then just rotate it up, swap them each week. But somebody asked, how is the beehive? The bees are doing good, guys. I put them some maple syrup out today, so hopefully they're going to get us some honey rolling here soon. Y'all will, and I'm going to try to set some more supers as soon as possible. So this is another thing I recommend is keep it as natural as possible, because I just don't want anything to do with pharmaceutical drug sorcery. Literally, if you look it up in scripture, drug sorcery, it is pharmakia. It is literally pharmakia, drug sorcery. All right. So don't go down that path, right? Use natural things, use essential oils, use colloidal silver, use something natural, but stay away from that other stuff. All right. So that's something we can do. Now, I want to really go in on this point right here because, oh, you're welcome. Absolutely. And I hope those oils are a great blessing to you guys. Most High Baruch you with that. But when it comes to protecting yourself, now, guys, like I said, and I don't care if y'all laugh at me, I want you just to understand something, that in 2022, one of the greatest gifts the Most High Yah gave me is that I figured out I was a Sigma male. And whenever I figured that out and really started watching those videos on that and breaking down my archetype of character, it really helped me finally understand why that, like, I have an alpha male mentality, but I'm a lone wolf in society, and I keep to myself, and I use my own mind to think for myself, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Like, that was a huge gift from the Most High Yah to really finally figure that out. But something that has occurred to me with time is that the way that my mind works, I've really started trying to look at things like, if I was wicked, how would I operate? Now, I don't want to be wicked. I want you to understand where I'm going with this, is that when I started looking at the construct we're in from that lens set, because I want to do what's right all the time, but I have to understand that if I'm going to beat my enemy, I've got to think like my enemy. All right. I feel like I'm about to get like the Art of War down off the shelf and start breaking that down next. But like, when you look at that, the first time through, I'm like, this is BS. I'm like, this is complete and utter BS nonsense. I got to the point where I was so obstinate about not wearing even a mask because it got to the point where that I had to wear a mask when I went into the doctor's office because my wife was pregnant during that time. They wouldn't let me in to get her took care of without it. I wouldn't take a test or a poke, but it was just a no-go. If I didn't wear the mask, they weren't giving service. So I had to get the face diaper on to go in the hospital, and I had to wear the face diaper on some flights because I gave people my word that I would come do their construction. And by goodness, when I give you my word, I do it. Okay. And so I followed through on it. And that was the only time I had to really deal with that nonsense. But now this time around, okay, if this stuff goes down, I've got like a regular, oh man, I've got a couple gas masks at the house. Now I've got like mirror safety style, which is like crap hit the fan, somebody hit the nuclear football, right? And then I've got some that's like for smoke inhalation and, you know, certain toxins, things like that, that I will probably wear that one out and about if I need to, if I think things are really bad. Because like this time when this goes down, now I'm treating this as I Am Legend. So if it is BS, outstanding. If it is the real deal and bodies start stacking, I am going at, when I have to go out, like you're going to see Luke like suited up, and I don't care if you laugh at me. But this is something we really need to put back, is that we need to have protective equipment, gloves, proper face shields. Like now, or when I say proper face shielding, I mean like literally a gas mask or something like that. That's for biological, chemical, you know, weapons, stuff like that. And somebody said I've worn them on jobs and in the Army. There's only a few reasons to actually use them. You know, oh, I've worn them on jobs. I got you. And I think it's really important at this point, and I'm not saying this to sell pitch for mirror safety, but dude, like go on eBay. I have full chemical nuclear suits. I literally, before I even owned a gas mask, I think this is an accurate statement. I don't want to lie to everybody, but before I even owned a gas mask, I'd already bought me a chemical suit years ago, military surplus. And I got some for my wife, my mom and dad. I mean, like I just stocked up long ago. And I mean, it just, I don't think this time around it's something to play with. Like last time, I think it was a good educational thing for us to see how people in society reacted. But now this time around, yeah, you might see Luke walking through town in the full suit. If I have to go to town, get groceries and get food, and I don't care if anybody laughs at me on that, because when we actually do see this thing go down, when the 5G frequencies and stuff like that starts going off, if these people start actually getting jacked up and whacked out, then you know that what was premised here as scenarios, and you know that just like in that TikTok video with the people that were in, I would say, respectable and authority, when they said, you know, that the triggers are there to set this off, and this is the frequency that sets it off, and this is what will happen when it's set off, and it is Marburg virus that's hidden within the snake bite. Like they went down this thing, bullet point, bullet point, bullet point, bullet point. That's how it arrives to here. Somebody said, if it comes to them times, I'm just going to go to eternal rest. I don't think Elohim means for us to walk around in the mess of that. Now, see, I am torn on that, because my heart says it's won't. Well, I wouldn't follow my heart, because the heart is terribly wicked, above all things, deceitful above all things. Now, what I'd say is we're going to be living in time. Scripture in the book of Daniel, I think it's Daniel chapter 12, talks about, I think is it 12th chapter Daniel, talks about that perilous, or this will be, a time is coming that never will be again, pretty much summarized. Okay. There's a time of trouble coming on earth that never will be again. And literally, if that ain't this generation, I don't know what is, because as of the days of Noah, so shall come the Son of Man be. Well, literally, if we leave science class and go back to scripture for a minute, because I've been in science class mode tonight, is that if we go back to the scripture, when has there ever been another time that we've ever seen that man's DNA has been mingled as it was in the days of Noah, right? Somebody correct me on that if there's ever been another time, because I've never seen that again until about a couple years ago, right? I mean, I've literally said this. I'm not a racist. I love everyone in this world, no matter your color, your creed, your background, where you came from. But I am fully sold. There is two races of human beings anymore. There is the people that are normal DNA, and there is the people that have been snake bitten. Okay. And I don't hate them, but I just want everybody to understand that we are no longer of the same construct. There is definitely two different races of humanoid beings on this earth. All right. Somebody said, people forget the event 201 was a 3-part test. Phase 1, 985. I guess that's 98.5 survival rate. Phase 2 was to turn the blame on anti-maskers and lower the survival rate to 73%. Phase 3, a 80% death rate. Also like the days of Lot, which was Sodom and Gomorrah. Yeah. And anyway, moving forward, last point I want to make on this is another thing too, is now, as I do construction every day, different situations, I'll put a hard hat on, ear protection, eye protection, just a safety harness for not falling off the roof. And I put this little construction guy up here to, people might mock and laugh about wearing the protective equipment this next time around. But you got to understand that the first time around, I've treated it as a mockery. This next time through, I'm treating it as I Am Legend, The Walking Dead. And so I'm not going to play games with that. And that's just like when I go out and do construction, I don't play games with electricity because I don't want to die. I don't play games with heights because I don't want to die. I don't play games with, getting my hands cut off. I use the safeties on cutting equipment, stuff like that carefully. We need to treat this next event just like you're on the job site. I'm not playing with it, guys. So if y'all want to go push up daisies, you go push up daisies, but don't get in Luke's way, because I'm literally going to treat this thing as the real event the next time through. And like I said, I don't give a flip if everybody listening to the sound of my voice from this day forward laughs at me. Y'all know where I stand. Okay. I want to be on the, I want to be very clear on that, on the record, is that I never respected the snake bite and Rona the first time through. Whatever goes down this next time through, I want to 100% be prepared for it, because I think they're really going to pull the trigger this time. All right. So that's where I just want everybody to be, because if you do see me walking in town fully strapped and prepared, I'm not paranoid. I just know that you can read the writing on the wall, and this time around, it's going to probably be game on. Justin Hager said, remember the parable of the 10 virgins, 9 carried extra oil, all because the bridegroom was delayed. This is 100% about preparedness. I'm trying to remember the parable of virgins for a minute, but I think it was 5 had it and 5 didn't. All right. Now, my last point I want to make is that if you live in the cities right now, after all that's went down, like especially you people that live in New York, if you live in New York right now, I'm just going to beat up on New Yorkers for a minute. If you live in New York right now and you are going to stay there after all the nonsense that's went on, okay, this time around, when they actually collect you up and send you into internment camps, and to concentrated centers for quarantine centers. Absolutely, there we go. Don't get mad at anybody but yourself, because you did this to yourself. Like, you literally self-deleted yourself, because New York City turned into one of the most hostile places that I've ever seen whenever this all went down. Like, outside of China, I think New York City should have got second place for the hostility of how that everybody was treated, and the demeanor that was of that state. Robin said, Luke, I'm moving to Tiny Town Way. Hey, I'll see you over at Tiny House Land. It is so imperative that you do this. Like, if you don't have protective equipment right now, Australia was terrible. Lally, I will definitely say Australia was absolutely terrible. It literally looked like Orwell's 1984 in different variations. But this needs to absolutely be a priority right now, is getting out of the big cities, like move to the out of the cities. And as somebody that does off-grid construction for people every day, number one priority is, after you've got buy dirt, what is it, Luke Bryan's song Buy Dirt, is that the next thing you need to do is make sure you have a wood stove. Obviously you need a structure, right? But the next thing should be a wood stove and water on that land, because at that point you can boil water, you can cook food, you can take a bath, and you can purify that, right? That's important. Next thing then, power and et cetera, and you can go from there. But that is top priorities. Just get out of the cities right now, because when this thing goes down the next time, now, if you don't have a clue of what that's going to look like, go and watch I Am Legend. All right. That is a good educational training video for what is going to happen here in the very near future. Let's see. Truth. I need to got to find a farm to work trade. That this right here, this is paramount, absolutely paramount to get out of the cities. Do not hesitate if you have the ability and the means right now. just pack up and get the heck out. Because you know what, folks, you can get a new job. All right. And actually, I believe this is my last slide of the evening. Oh, no, I have one last thing. I want to say this is actually, you know what, I'll back up. I want to go ahead and cover that, and then we'll get the last slide in, and then I'll get this off here and chop it up with this bit before I wind it down, is that you can get a job somewhere else. You can get a house somewhere else. Like, you can start over. I had to start over. All right. So, I mean, like, you can absolutely start over. Brother Akeem, if you will email me at 7trumpetsprepper@gmail.com, I'll get you in contact with Akeem for the coalition. Matter of fact, I'll just get him on again. Maybe we need to just talk about that coalition and networking. But I think people want to get like tied down, and I don't want to be like that. Like, now, if where I'm at is restricting me from being a free person, is restricting me from being prepared for what's to come, I'm not down for that, guys. Like, I'm not doubling down at this point. Like, I've tripled down. Like, I was so tired the other night. I went to bed. I laid down in the bed, and like, you know that feeling when you want to hold your eyes open, but you can't even hold your eyes open, and then you pass out and you don't even dream. Like, that's how tired I've been lately. Like, tonight when I shut the stream down, I'm gonna pass out, and I probably won't wake up till like 10 o'clock tomorrow on Sabbath. But like, it is like super priority that you work toward this end to get out of the cities. Because like the other day, getting them bees set, I literally sat down in the midst of my bees in my bee suit and just let them buzz around me. And it was like so meditative to just not hear the city, not hear the hustle and bustle. And literally all I heard was my little bees vibrating, flying around. And, you know, we've gotten so comfortable with each other now that when I go out there and give them maple syrup each day, I can just hang out with them. I don't even need my bee suit now. They don't even bother me. And, but it's just so important. We need to get this absolutely prioritized and get out of the way as soon as possible. Now, the last point I want to make about what we can do to prepare for this is mentally turn the freaking TV off. All right. Is just turn the TV off and get away from the fake news, because, you know, I love my dad, and I'm not trying to dishonor my mother and father when I say this, but like, my dad likes to watch the news at times, and he lives with me right now because they're getting their new home built, you know, and then they'll be moving in their new home where they sold their other house. And I actually love it, getting to see my dad every day. It's so wonderful, and my mom. But, you know, one thing that gets me is he likes to watch the news at times. And I know he likes to see the weather and other stuff like that. And that's cool. But I just so much as walk in the room and listen, just listen to the people in the news speaking. It literally triggers me. And I'm not like a snowflake or a softie, but it just literally runs all over me. And I'm going to tell you something. I think it was Brother Joel showed me this a while back. Is there was this news clip collage. Okay. It was a collage of people on the news, literally all these news people, different stations. Okay. Imagine this screen littered, like my little block that you see me in right now, like small it down about half that size and fill this thing up with like 20 or 30 blocks of that. And all of them were saying the same thing. Like, it was like copies of the same thing being said, but different people sitting behind an anchor desk saying that. And just nuts. And one of the best things that's ever happened to me is not watching the news anymore. Oh my gosh, it's been absolutely one of the best borrowed cause from the Most High Yah ever. I just can't deal with it anymore. And TV, I can't remember if it was the CIA. Now I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I don't want to lie to anybody, so everybody do their own research. But I believe it was the CIA, and please somebody correct me in the comments on this. I believe it was CIA that really was focused years ago on the fact that they could use the television for mental indoctrination of the masses. And I'm sure MK Ultra falls into that line somewhere down the line. And someone said, yeah, it was CIA for sure. Yeah. And guys, I mean, when I can't show you on the screen, and I'm always and every now and then I guess on something, don't take my word for it. You go do your own research. I'm going to take that down. Now, that's pretty much the presentation. The last thing I want to say as far as the presentation, and then I'll get in the comments with you guys in just a second and chop it up here for a little bit before I get off here. But I want you to understand, and it really, really, really freaking frustrates me, that TikTok, I can go in there and watch some girl twerking, right? And just all her skin exposed, and just literally, I'm just going to say it. It's like soft porn on there, some of the crap that's on TikTok. But like, I can go on TikTok and try to watch medical professionals and bio engineers and people in high positions of power break down how that this is in this snake bite. This is the documentation. This is how it reacts to this frequency, which has got a patent on it and said number, blah, blah, blah. And this is what it will do to people. Like, that is what is so irritating to me. There are patents for mind control through TV. Yeah, I believe it, Alicia. And it irritates me because, you know, like, there's almost 80. You know, guys, we're about to roll 80,000 subscribers on this channel. Now, I bet you 70-something thousand of them don't ever get a notification for my stuff anymore. And you know how I know that? Because literally, I know people that's close to me and tells me they don't get their notifications anymore. They literally have to keep up with me. But somebody said, yes, little girl's twerking. Yeah, it's ridiculous, dude. Like, it is absolutely, TikTok is trash. I hate TikTok. But I got that link for that short segment of it was on TikTok. So I was like, all right, I'll share that because it's just directly that. But yeah, I freaking hate TikTok. I'll be the first to tell you that. Matter of fact, if I was a pastor of a church, okay, literally there would be like a whole sermon given one Sabbath about social media is toxic. And I know that sounds, what is the word? Hypocritical. But you know, like, I use YouTube. YouTube, when YouTube first started, was amazing. Like, there was literally like a lot of educational content. And now it's kind of went down the dumps too, in a way. But like, social media can be used for great things, but a lot of it is just garbage. And somebody said, if you have a smart TV, you're being watched. I believe that too. Absolutely. People need to get charged for letting their children participate in that soft porn. Absolutely. Absolutely. They need beat for that. You know, I am a parent of a daughter now, and she's 4 months old. I am terrified to raise that child in the world that we're in. I want children. I want more sons and daughters. Okay. I'd love to have 20, 30 of them in my house. Love to die an old man. Or I'd actually love to live to see the kingdom come and have like my children's children to live to see them grow. Oh, what an amazing gift. And I hope they all do 1,000 times better in life than I could ever imagine. But like, the construct that we live in, I mean, like, me and my wife was talking about this literally driving down the road today, it's like, we've got to stay alive because we've got to homeschool our child. We've got to protect them from false religion. We've got to protect them from the government. We've got to protect them from pharmaceutical drug sources. Like, we were just going down this punch list of everything that we have to shield our child from. And I'm just like, is that not terrible? Like, is that not just absolutely terrible that we have descended into the depths of hell as society and a world that like, literally, that's what I have to prioritize. Somebody said, I've got 2 toddlers and I'll be their roots. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm homeschooled too. Yeah. I have one that's homeschooled and about to be out, 18 this coming, 18, and got 1 more year. And now I've got one to start over with, and hopefully y'all willing some more past this one. But it's just like, I hate it. I you know, it's so sad to like the moment my daughter was born. I mean, the moment she came in the world, I was already holding her little hand in the little heat unit there, just so thrilled that she was in this world, and just loved on her, cared for her ever since that minute. And it's just like, it breaks my heart because it's like the joy she brings to my life. And then on the back end of it, I have to look over here and I'm like, I've got to deal with all this BS nonsense to protect her so that she's not mentally defective by the time she's an adult woman, just to deal with the world. And then by the time she is an adult woman, what in the world is she going to be dealing with? You know, but anyway, somebody said just moved off grid and on 13 acres in Arkansas. Hey, awesome. Shout out to you. TikTok stands for time is running out. People playing along like sheep as they work to take everything away. Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, guys, I really hope this was a help to everyone tonight. If I can find, now I'm just going to leave this where it lies, but if I can find that video again, I will in a future stream get that out there, or I may make a separate special video just to get that information out there, because that was such a well-pointed video, and it was only like a 10-minute video. And that segment that was cut out of it, they had the documentation, all it bullet pointed down, and it was just so on point, and it made sense. But one last thing here, I'm going to add the screen share. This right here, guys. Let me scroll back up to the top. Is that Marburg virus disease epidemics preparedness alert control and evaluation manual? Right there, you literally need to download that thing, and be mindful of this. Matter of fact, I'm going to go the extra mile the way for y'all right here, right now. I'm going to put this in the banners so that you have the exact link. Give me just a second, guys. I'm creating the banner right now and adding it to the screen so that you have a copy of it, because these people ain't playing. I'm going to leave that up for the duration right there of the stream, until I turn this off, so that everybody can get that's watching. And you've stuck around this long, you deserve that information. Give me just a second. I'm coming back over to the comments. Let me X that off right there. Somebody asked, when will I have Troy Miller back on Seven Trumpets Forever? So I'm going to actually get with Troy tomorrow, because me and him talked last stream that we were on together. If you notice that, I said that I was going to have him back on in June. Now, June's about to roll around. I'm about to be in Florida, and I think while I'm down there, actually, I think it'll be right when I get back, the Sabbath that I get back from down there, we'll do that. So I'm going to try to line that up in the next week or two. We'll do that. Let's see. Somebody said, you're welcome, guys. Absolutely. Yeah. And I'll be thrilled to have him on here again. But that right there, that link that's on the screen, make sure to scribble that down, get that information, because now I worry that later, this information is going to be restricted from the general population. Or it just may straight up disappear, because now keep in mind, I think it was with, the World Health Organization and with I'm trying to think the other. Anyway, they're all interlinked. The New World Order page was actually up. There was a website for the New World Order, and then it actually got took down. And I actually documented it and had the links and everything up on YouTube there for a while until it all got took down. So that was actually legitimately up. All right. So yeah, I mean, guys, I try to stay on top of this stuff, and just like that video the other day, it got pulled down. But guys, I'm going to hop off here and get some rest. It's been a long work week. I hope everyone has a wonderful Sabbath tomorrow. I'm going to pull that banner down now that we're going to be winding this down. But guys, make sure to check out coming up on New Moon Day. I'll be back in here. And I don't know exactly yet what topic I want to cover. I've caught up most of the things on my list. I do want to do a stream talking about gun control, because that is something that is going to be ramped up, and especially with the shooting thing. And I've made it a point not to speak on that. And I'm going to tell you why. Is because I've spoke about stuff like that in the past. It got me strikes. It got videos took down. I almost literally lost my channel over that. So I try to really treat that stuff with kid gloves, because if I'm going to lose my channel over something, I want it to be losing it over speaking about the kingdom, not fighting over my Second Amendment right. Okay. I totally support having my Second Amendment right, but there's a lot more important things to lose your channel over, if that's going to be it. But anyway, definitely going to have a stream talking about, the importance of having protection for yourself, because they are moving in a direction to take away your right to bear arms, because the New World Order needs certain things to fall in place. Not having your firearms, need AI fully autonomous. There's a lot of different things, cogs in the wheel, that they need operational here in the next few years before that they fully turn loose the new world order on us. And taking up your firearms is definitely one of them. And real quickly, I'm just going to scroll the comments real quickly here. Absolutely, peace and blessings to all of you. Love y'all. And guys, as always, till we see again here on Seven Trumpets Prepper channel and on the Hard Truth Show, hope the Most High Yah Baruch you and keep you, make his face shine upon you, show you favor, and give you shalom, my friends, in Yahushua name.